Hello everyone, welcome to BotTales Lab. Today I'm going to teach you what is microcontroller and what is microprocessor. So here on left hand side you can see one green color board. It is our microcontroller. This green color board is called as PCB board. On that different components or sensor are indicated, that is this is our LCD, this is LEDs, this is push button, this is voltage regulator, ICs, then different sensors are there. And on right hand side, you can see that is our microprocessor, that is Intel Core i7. Like that, different microprocessors are there that we use in our laptops and computers. Okay, so this is just the basic overview of our microcontroller and of our microprocessor, how microcontroller looks and a microprocessor looks. Further, we are going to discuss what is main difference between microcontroller and microprocessor, what is microcontroller and what is microprocessor, and applications and some advantages of both. Okay. So this is the block diagram of our microprocessor. Here we can see microprocessor, one CPU is there, and externally we are connecting RAM, ROM, input, output ports and other things with the help of buses. So that is in our microcontroller, we can't store some data internally. That is some information we can't store in. For storing some information or data, we have to connect external RAM or ROM, that is external storage. And for connecting some devices, we have to provide external input output port. Input output ports are not available in a microprocessor, whereas in our microcontroller, everything is integrated on one chip, that is CPU, RAM, ROM, input output ports, everything is available on one chip. That is, if we want to store some information or some data in our microcontroller, we can store it in its inbuilt RAM on ROM. And if we want to connect some external devices, we can connect it by using input output port that is already available in a microcontroller. Okay. Now let's see what is microcontroller. So a microcontroller is a small compact computing device that includes a processor, memory and input output ports all integrated on a single chip as we discussed earlier. Okay, then just think of microcontroller as a small computer designed to control specific tasks for applications such as turning on LEDs, monitoring sensor, or running simple automation tasks. That is, by using microcontroller, you can do some tasks according to a requirement, according to your need. Whatever task you want to perform, you can perform that by using microcontroller. Just you have to do some basic coding. That is, we do C++ programming, which is very easy and very basic, and you can do task according to your requirement. Like if you want to turn all the LED on, if you want to change speed of your motor, if you want to make your own robot, and if you want that robot to work according to your need, that is, you want to move it forward, backward, left, right, according to commands given by you. These all things you can do just by using microcontroller. Okay. So some example of a microcontroller are Arduino boards, ESP32 and STM32. These are just some basic boards of our microcontroller. Some common user and application of microcontroller are, we can use microcontroller in home appliances, IoT device, robots, and etc. Now let's come on what is microprocessor. So a microprocessor is a powerful processing unit that performs computation, data processing, and logic tasks, but require external memory and input-output ports to work. That is, our microcontroller will perform only some predefined task which is defined to it. That is, in it already some predefined coding will be there, and according to that only it will work. We can, by using microprocessor, we can't do some task that we want to do. That is, according to our requirement, we can't let it do some task. Okay, so just think of microprocessor as a brain of a computer that doesn't handle input, output, or memory management directly. Example of microprocessor are Intel Core i7, AMD Ryzen, ARM processor, microprocessor. You all know Intel Core i7 and AMD Ryzen are well-known microprocessor that we use in our laptop and computer. Some application of common use of microprocessor are in laptops, desktop or PC, gaming console, and server. Okay, so this is just main thing. What is microcontroller and what is microprocessor? Their example and their use case. Now further we are going to discuss main difference between microcontroller and microprocessor in brief. Okay, so this is the difference between microcontroller and microprocessor. First point is integration. That is, in microcontroller, everything is integrated on one chip. That is CPU, input output port, RAM, ROM. serial port, everything is integrated on a single chip. But in microprocessor, these all things are not integrated on single chip. We have to connect these all things externally, that is RAM, ROM, storage, everything we have to connect externally in microprocessor. Now purpose. By using microcontroller, we can perform tasks according to our requirement. Whatever task we want to perform, we can perform that by using microcontroller. But using microprocessor, we can't do that. Microprocessor only performs some predefined task that is defined to it by using computing, which is called a general purpose computing task. Complexity. Microcontroller is simple and lightweight. That is, it have very simple coding. We can do coding of it in a simple language. It is very lightweight, easy to handle. But microprocessor is complex and powerful. Also, microcontroller is small in size. Microprocessor is big in size. Then power consumption, our microcontroller consume less power, microprocessor consume high power. Cost of microcontroller is less and cost of microprocessor is higher. Speed of microcontroller is slower and speed of microprocessor is faster. Some example of microcontroller Arduino and ESP32. Some example of microprocessor Intel i7, ARM Cortex A72. Application of microcontroller in washing machine, car, IoT, robotics. Application of microprocessor are smartphone, PC, servers. Okay. Now let's come on today's lecture summary. What we learn today? We learn what is microcontroller and what is microprocessor. This is how our microcontroller looks and this is how our microprocessor look. Later we see block diagram of microcontroller and microprocessor. In our microprocessor, inbuilt RAM, ROM and input ports are not available, but in our microcontroller, everything is integrated on a single chip. Later we see what is microcontroller. That is microcontroller. We can say it as a simple computer, and to a microprocessor we can see as a brain of a computer which perform tasks without input output ports. Okay, later we see the difference between microcontroller and microprocessor. That is a main microcontroller. Everything is integrated on a single chip, but in microprocessor they are not integrated. Later we see purpose. That is by using microcontroller we can perform our purpose according to our need, whatever purpose we want to do. But by using microprocessor we can't do that. Microprocessor perform only some predefined tasks. Later we see about complexity, then power consumption, cost, speed, example applications. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you.